Week 7 of Seal. Tonight we're going to be casting a series of games from the Squirtle Squad and the Dandelion Knights. I'm Willis, King of Games. I will be your color caster for tonight, here with my play-by-play caster and co-host.
I am Sunny Day. Normally I am behind the scenes, but today I am kind of out in front. Super excited for this Shurima match. I've been told to look out for game 2, so stick around for that, definitely. We are going to hop right into the drafts, and Willis, I would like you to tell me what kind of your initial thoughts on this draft are.
Alright, well first off, we see that the Squirtle Squad first picks a Thresh. Now in previous matches on the Squirtle Squad, Mycroft Holmes, their support player, has shown excellent Thresh plays, proving that he is very proficient with this. Getting a very comfortable pick there in the support lane means that, along with this Samira, they're aiming to have a very dominant bot lane. Facing off down there, they're against the Ashe and a Lulu. Also a fairly powerful bottom lane, but we'll have to see how things actually play out down there. Squirtle Squad lands with a Silas for their mid lane, as well as a Fiddlesticks in their jungle, and Set bringing it up for the top lane. The Dandelion Knights pick up the Amumu for their jungle, bringing up the Camille into the top lane, and a Galio to finish it all off in the mid. Overall, I'm liking, personally, the composition on the Squirtle Squad. So far, having such a proficient player on Thresh down there, not to mention his kit alone. Not even talking about the player. Thresh's kit allows for so much versatility, allowing you to hook people into fights, as well as pull teams out of fights. And just having that support is very powerful. But the Set and the Silas are also, in my opinion, very powerful picks. Set, a lot of people underestimate, and they forget just how much damage he can really take and output. I do like, on the side of the Dandelion Knights, this Amumu pick. Not a lot of teams pick up the Amumu, but in the late game, if he can get ahead, he can really prove powerful with his ultimate as well as his passive. As for a favoring side, I think I'm leaning towards the Squirrel Squad. I think their comp is a little bit more well-rounded. I think the Dandelion Knights are... The Amumu pick is risky. As much as I like it, I think it's just a little too risky. If anything gets derailed in the jungle, then the Squirrel Squad will just really be able to take full advantage of that. Do you have any opinions on this?
Not really. Again, I am not that well versed on drafts, but I do have a little bit of a soft spot for the Amumu because that's my go-to whenever I get autofilled for jungle, which is never a good idea. But I am interested to see how that pick plays out into the game, and if you have no other thoughts, I think that we are ready to jump right into the game.
Let's get right into it.
Alrighty.
Alright, and as we start things off with game 1, we do have to keep our eye on potential invades. We do see on the blue side the Squirtle Squad going full 5-man towards the top. Meanwhile, the Dandelion Knights have decided to do a standard 5-man spread.
I don't think this bodes too well for the Dandelion Knights, because that's only the Camille and possibly the Galio up there, if anything, if they, don't get spotted out. It does seem like they're going to jump onto the Camille. Oh, Camille does get over the wall. She's safe for now, but they all know that they're up in that top side now.
Excellent use of Camille's kit there. The Thresh, having been forced to take the hook for the potential invade, that means he's going to have a little bit of a slow down on picking up those Flay stacks for the Flay passive. Meaning that we might see a little bit less damage coming off of that passive throughout the game for their decision to go with that early invade.
Are they doing another invade, or are they just making sure that this jungler doesn't get jumped on? It seems like they're all spreading out now.
Yeah, I believe it might be that they might have feared a potential counter invade since the Camille so early on spotted the invade.
It does seem like Amumu is going with the raptors first. Those are the raptors, right? The chickens?
Yep,
And
those are the raptors. He's cleared them out pretty fast.
Amumu's
As
initial clears is pretty fast.
yeah, so taking a look at items, we do see that Camille's picked up her Doran's Blade with her health potion, and Set started off with a long sword and his 3 health potions, looking to start off by putting a lot of early damage and being able to heal and stay at that lane as long as he wants.
And despite trading a lot of damage with the Camille, he doesn't seem to be using the health pots. Oh, never mind, I spoke too soon. He just used one. So he's going to be able to sustain a little bit better against this Camille as they're trading. Although he might be in trouble here. Karen doesn't watch out. Karen's going to... Oh, flash for flash. Karen does get away
flash, nothing coming of it. That's kind of what we want to see and expect from a Set, you know? Constantly in games, you're going to see people going in on a Set who's at half health, and yet somehow he's just able to really consistently stay alive. Even when you think he has the advantage, he's now turning that fight.
Camille does pick up the first blood onto the Set. Set didn't run away soon enough, and unfortunately lost out on that trade, so that means that the Camille will have some extra chance to just farm up and get that experience, while the Set has to use his Summoner to get back into the lane.
Yeah, notably, Camille has a really strong level 2, thanks to now having both her Tactical Sweep and her Precision Protocol. She's able to just really get in there. Get in, get out, especially that hook
coming
shot
down onto the mid lane, and the Galio might be in trouble. The Galio does go down, slain by the Fiddlesticks, who picks up that kill. So that was a pretty successful gank, and the Sylas is able to push up into that tower.
Yeah, and that's very, very crucial. You know, this Sylas, he wants to get ahead in his lane. You know, once he starts getting to the point where he can roam around the map and help his team elsewhere, that's just going to add more for the side of the Squirtle squad.
Exactly. Doesn't seem to be much other than just some casual trading here and there. The bot lane for the Squirrel Squad is kind of pushed underneath the tower, but Lulu can, the polymorph is, I know from firsthand, the polymorph is not fun to deal with.
Yeah, it's a very oppressive lane, that Ashe Lulu. However, these players on the Squirtle Squad, they're very experienced. They're experienced enough that they should be able to handle this and keep their distance. Because in the top lane, Camille and Set are back at it again. Going back and forth with some trades, putting some damage on each other.
Karen might be in trouble here again as the Camille jumps on the Set, and the Set goes down once again. That is 2 solo kills for the Camille up in the top lane. That's gonna push her ahead quite far.
Yeah, that gold, I mean, she's already picked up 2 of her longswords, while the Set has finished out a Vampiric Scepter. You know, but
these 2
killed gold lead.
If the Set can pick up the bounty, he'll be able to catch up. But I'm not sure how likely that is, considering Camille is already... she's a level ahead, she's almost at level, and she's got a significant amount more damage than the Set right now. Gank coming down from the side lane, from the Sylas, from the mid lane. The Lulu goes down, she was in trouble. More trading up in the top lane. It's a fairly even trade, but the Set does have to back away from that one.
Yeah, and this is exactly what they really want to be using this Set for. Now that he's gotten a little bit of an early lead, however, he's now fallen behind a level. You know, trading off the gold, the assist from that gank, he's down a level now on the Galio, who's gotten to level 6.
Yeah.
But he should be able to get these minions and get himself back up before the Galio gets back.
Set just punching the tower down, hoping to get a plate here. Probably only going to be able to get 1 plate unless he kind of taunts the Camille.
Yeah, so far this isn't really the fight the Set wants to take, you know?
No.
Set's lost all these previous 1v1s, and being at the tower adds a further complication to it.
Yeah. He did get the plate. I feel like getting the plate and backing away is probably the safest option, especially right now because there's no minion wave behind him. So he has to run all the way back to the tower as the Camille once again jumps on the set.
Yeah, and he has to be a little cautious now. He's got to pay attention to the fact that Camille has completed her Tiamat. But it
Watch
does
out for
look
health
like
on the Fiddlesticks coming up for a gank. Camille might be the one in trouble now, and Set might be able to pick up this bounty. And he does get the bounty.
Yeah, now with that, 150 gold, it will help him out. You know, it's going to get him back up to where he really should be getting to. And get him back on track for items. While we do see no one so far has been tempted with taking that Infernal Drake.
Fiddlesticks again might be going to try and steal this red buff away, and or kill the Amumu if he can stay hidden for long enough. And the Fiddlesticks gets the buff. The poor bandaged mummy. Unfortunately not able to pick that one up.
Silas was in trouble at that mid lane, but now that Fiddlesticks has come down here with the red buff, the Lulu is respecting this and backing off a little bit, but the Galio wants to go all in. And
Fiddlesticks is taken out. Karen again might be in trouble, as well as Fuzel. Fuzel does manage to flash over the wall. He seems to be safe for now. He's pretty quick using the blast plants and the flashes, but he does expend that summoner spell.
Yeah, and he also, notably, made use of his stolen ultimate. He counter Galio ulted in trying to save his jungler, but it just ended up not being the case where he could.
There's a lot of vision in that river by the Rift Herald coming from red side. It's kind of interesting that there's like 3 wards placed there. Well, 2 wards including the scuttle.
Yeah.
Camille up on this top tower is probably going to get another plate. Or not.
Yeah, she's just going to have to back off and respect. Now that the set's back with that minion wave, she's got to go back to her respectful game of waiting for an opportunity for her to go in for some trades. Item-wise, looking across the board, there's not much to talk about yet. I mean, both teams are around 13,000 gold. No one's really got any major grouped up sort of gold lead. Both teams are fairly even right now.
Well, it's 3 for 3 kills and 100 gold up on Squirtle Squad, so not a significant advantage to either or team.
Yeah, and both squads seem to be so far on pace with their item builds. Both bot laners picking up their BF swords, while both mid laners have completed their Hex Tech Revolvers. Although speaking of that, we now see the Silas has completed his Mercury Treads. Not going to be a major power spike, but it will give him a little bit of help out.
The Galio ult coming in to try and knock the Silas up into the air. The Amumu goes down, slain by the Samira, as well as the Galio on the red side. They're going back in. The Lulu goes down as well. Nodagro might be in... Oh, that's Mystic. Mystic is in trouble. Can he get to it? He does not get to the tower in time, and unfortunately that is a triple kill. Or fortunately for the blue side, it's a triple kill and the dragon for the Squirtle Squad.
Yet the Fiddlesticks, having a stopwatch, really ended up turning that fight. Because there was a brief moment where he was himself just on death's door. He only had a couple hundred health, and he was at the very front line of that. And popping that stopwatch, saving his life, and allowing the rest of his teammates to really gun down the Galio allows him to come out of that invulnerability.
Camille might be in trouble as the Set tower dives the Camille. Camille goes down again. And I think Set and Camille are pretty even at this point. Set might just be a little bit more ahead, considering that the last 2 kills he's gotten is onto the Camille.
Yeah, and this is really where the Squirtle Squad wants to be. They're starting to get ahead. They've got 5 kills up, and now they are 3,000 gold ahead with the first dragon. If the Dandelion Knights can't fight back and try to reclaim some of this gold disadvantage,
Teleport coming up from the Camille. Set is in trouble. Camille and Amumu both jumping on the Set, and I think that might be a dead Set. Unfortunately, he's not allowed to, or not able to sustain enough to take out either or of the two players that jumped on him. And Amumu might get this Rift Herald if he so chooses to go for it now.
Yeah, he's gonna go for the Scuttle first, getting the vision and the movement buff before, you know, really committing to anything. We do see now that the set has completed his Blade of the Ruined King. Karin in the top lane is going to be a little bit more tough to kill now. You know, not
And
only
the
is
Camille
Set's
knows
kit,
that too.
Set's kit is already tough to kill in fights. You jump him and he's at half health. Suddenly, he's got himself a shield, bringing him a lot higher than that. Now, with the life steal on that Blade of the Ruined King, it's gonna make things tough for Camille if she doesn't have help from the movement.
Level of oppression from this bot lane seems to be flipped now. Now it's the Ashe and the Lulu who are pushed up underneath their tower.
Yeah, the Samirs completed their Essence Reaver. While Ashe still only has her BS sword, they just have to really accept that fact and respect the amount of damage that this Samira can put out.
Silas stopping the back from the Galio. A little bit of a cheeky move there.
Yeah. Top lane, Fiddlesticks and Set looking to get ahead even more, forcing the Camille to back off.
The Rift Herald was dropped onto the outer tower for the blue side, so that is taken out. However, there is only one more plate, with a minute to go before tower plates drop. I don't think they're going to get that last plate, but that is a very unhealthy tower.
Yeah, the Fiddlesticks dying in the river there, and now the Set getting caught there as well. It's
yeah, the
really
Set is in trouble. Not before taking out the Galio, though. The Galio does go down to the Set, but the Set, unfortunately, is unable to get out of there alive with his prize.
Now that's what I'm talking about, the Set. You know, he gets jumped by 3 champions. You think he's dead. There's no way he can even trade back. And there he goes. He gets the trade onto the Galio.
Both Mycroft and Ace are once again shoving the Ashe and Lulu underneath the tower. The hook, the Thresh gets a hook. I can English perfectly well, don't worry. Teleport coming down into the bot lane, but Ace and Ultimate might be safe. Although that Galio is really speedy. Ace might be caught out here. The Fiddlesticks has come to save the day, though. Ace is safe.
Yeah, this is really good use of their summoner spells on the side of the Dandelion Knights. It's just rough when the enemy jungler is nearby and able to come back to support them.
Galio might be in trouble again, taken out by... Oh, no. That was close. The Galio just barely gets away with his life as the Set comes and teleports down.
Yeah, although it now looks like Amumu's been caught out by this Set.
Camille's on the way though, so Set might have to watch out. The Silas back here as well.
Silas.
Amumu taken out, Camille is also in danger. I don't think she can take on both the Set and the... Who is that? Silas. And she is taken out.
Yeah, there's a bit of a power difference right now. Camille has started setting up. It looks like she wants to build into a Triforce, I believe. You know, she's got her shield, she's got her Sheen, she's got her Stinger. So as a result, she's going for a little bit of a slower build, a more expensive build, while the Set has already started off strong with his Blade of the Ruined King and his Ninja Tabi.
There's another dragon going down to the blue team as Eustariel and Mystic are battling Fusel, Helve, Ultimate, and Mycroft. All 4 of them are down here.
Silas has got that Lulu ult now, so we're gonna have to look for some potential big fights where he's gonna unleash that wild growth. Yeah, the gold lead, you know, right now is leaning on the side of the Squirtle squad, but it's not too far where the Dandelion Knights can't catch back. It's only 1,000, and the first 2 Drakes, they're not so crucial that you have to fight for absolutely every single one of them. You know, the next Drake is going to be up in 4 minutes, and that's really when the Dandelion Knights have to start taking this. You know, it's going to be an Ocean Drake. if they let that Ocean Shoal go uncontested to the Squirtle squad, they're going to have an even harder time dealing with champions like Set, Fiddlesticks, and Silas.
Even the Samira, while not being super tanky, she has a lot of sustain with her abilities. So if you chunk her out and then she is able to use her abilities to sustain, she can heal up pretty quick, and that's not a good. It's never a good time. So they really
Yeah.
don't want this Ocean Soul going over to the Squirtle squad.
Just taking a quick look at this, Thresh. He's gotten himself 53 souls for his Fillet passive. That's actually going to be ending up pretty relevant. You know, it's going to give him an additional 40 armor and ability power. So the longer that he can keep just collecting these souls, the more he's going to be relevant in a lot of these later team fights.
We haven't seen much from the mid lane between Fuzel and Eclipse with the Silas and Galio. Stariel might be in trouble here and manages to kind of wiggle herself out of there. Just a huge trade, as well as a trade going down in the top lane with Nodagro on the Amumu. Set and Fiddlesticks are teaming up. Amumu is probably going to be dead if Set can reach him. Camille jumps back in to try and save the Amumu. Is unsuccessful with that and might also lose her life because of the re-engage.
Yeah, the double kill in the top lane there. That is really strong. Although, it does give Camille an opportunity to finally finish out buying her Triforce. I think the gold trade-off is just really bad for them there. But speaking into what you were talking about in the mid lane, we haven't seen a lot from them. You know, they're kind of head-to-head, they're toe-to-toe. They're an equal match, and both of them really want to be looking to make pressure elsewhere on the map for their team.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of roaming from both the Galio and the Silas. The Silas has mostly been going down into that bot lane to help out Ace and Mycroft. And it's been doing well because they've almost got this outer tower.
Yeah, that tower falling. That's just going to give their bot lane a little bit more pressure. They're going to have a lot more priority and a little bit more wiggle room for these bottom dragon fights.
Set might be in trouble considering he does have the double buff, so he's pretty tanky.
Yeah, we do see the Galio there off the Silas. Yeah, it's a good use of it. It forces the Camille and the Amumu to back off for the time being. They're able to most likely finish off this Rift Herald, if not position in for a fight against the Dandelion Knights.
Yeah, Mumu unfortunately is not able to get in there in time in order to steal the Rift Herald away. Goes down before he can reach the eye of the Herald. The Samira is also shut down from the Camille, but the Camille is probably... Camille has gone down. Was able to pick up that kill, but also lost her life. And they're probably going to get this tower.
This set is really starting to snowball.
Yeah.
He's got himself up to 8 kills, and he's got him a 9th kill falling to him as well. You know, this set is reaching a point where in the 1v1, no one on the Dandelion Knights can really take that. You know, they have to respect that, and they have to go for ganks with him, which is going to become increasingly tough as this Silas is also getting ahead.
The Silas also stole the Lulu ultimate once again. I think that's the second time they've stolen the Lulu ultimate.
Yeah, I missed the first time he used it. I'm hoping that I can catch the second time.
The Silas takes out the Lulu after stealing the ultimate. That's just kind of a rubbing salt in the wounds kind of move.
Foozle Bamboozle. Really bamboozling the Dandelion Knights.
As the Amumu is jumped on once again, trying to get in there to steal this dragon, is unable to reach the objective once again. This poor Amumu has just been bullied out of the jungle constantly by the Squirtle squad.
Yeah, Dandelion Knights there, knowing that they have to at least try something for that dragon. I think that might have been a bad call, though. I mean, the Amumu going in on his own versus 5 members. just trying to get that smite off, I just don't think that's going to be worth it, or
It was probably a
even
little bit of
helpful.
miscommunication between the members of the team. Should we go in? Should we not? This team's really scary right now. Ultimate Ace just barely managing to get away. Might be jumped on again. The ultimate coming out from the Lulu, and it does not seem to garner any kills. Fuzel again takes out the Lulu. Eclipse, the Galio, is probably going to fall here to Fuzel as well. This Silas is quite scary.
Yeah, this is just once
Eclipse
you
giving them a
start
run for their
stacking,
money.
when you start stacking and start, getting into your groove, he's got his Dark Seal at 10, at 10 Glory with that Dark Seal early on, as well as just having such a gold lead. I mean, he's 6-0 and 8 right now. He's got a 700 gold bounty, and so does the set. Those two are really putting in a lot of work for the Squirtle squad right now. And they do have to be a little bit careful, because if either of them die, then the member on the Dandelion Knights who gets that gold is going to be a little bit more potent. They're going to get back a little bit, but they are down 10,000 gold at the 20-minute mark, which is almost a mountain to climb in order to get back into this.
Yeah, they really, really need those shutdowns to go over. They need to jump on either the Set or the Silas and just at least take one of them out in the next team fight, and maybe the other one in the second team fight, so that they can kind of climb back on top of this and get back on track.
Yeah, the Baron is now up, potentially seeing teams work towards that at any point during this game. I mean, the Squirtle squads, with such a lead, if they can get a good pick in a team fight or two, we might see them shift towards the Baron. The Set. Heading into the jungle, this is a real show of his confidence right now.
Yeah, Karen is being really cheeky right now. And, unfortunately, the Dandelion Knights can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, Karen, she's just almost too much to stop at this point. Having a black cleaver now, along with the Blade of the Rearing King.
More, diving under the tower. The Galio comes out, but is not able to stop the Lulu from dying. The Camille also goes down, but Mycroft might be in trouble here. He's gonna be taken out by the Galio, or no, the Ashe. The Ashe is who took out, Thresh. And with Samira and the Thresh both down, the bot lane might be able to push back just a tiny bit. Set once again being cheeky in that bot lane, just kind of walking up to the tower, poking at it a bit, and then running away.
Very importantly in that fight, though, the Samira and the Thresh both going down, but the Silas didn't. That shutdown gold not going into the hands of the Dandelion Knights.
Fuzo once again displaying just how scary a 7-0 and 9 Silas can be, as he just walks into that team. Set does jump into the middle of things and gets taken out, both with the help of the tower and with Galio. And Hull has to run, otherwise he's going to get taken out as well, and Fuzel needs to get out of there. With the...
Yeah, although...
He's
so strong, he's
just
gonna take down that Lulu. As now, the Samira is back over here. The Silas gets shut down. 700 gold from both the Set and the Silas. Now back in the hands of the Dandelion Knights.
Eclipse is pulling his own weight. Mycroft might be in trouble, but does manage to take out the Camille. Camille was not able to hold on long enough. Amumu and Asher have to clear out their base now, lest the Nexus turrets go down. But they did get those shutdowns. They did get the shutdowns that we said they had to get in order to possibly climb back into this game.
Yeah, although now they're kind of in a dangerous situation. They have to be wary of these minions pushing into the top lane now that their inhibitor's down. The dragon is up, of course, which most likely means right now this dragon's gonna fall to the Squirtle squad. Set and Thresh are just gonna get it, and the Dandelion Knights really can't respond.
Yeah, unfortunately, they can't really go over to the Baron either in order to make a trade. So the blue team is just going to get completely uncontested the objectives.
Now having the Ocean Soul, this is just gonna make it so much harder. These members of the Squirtle squad, Silas, Fiddlesticks, Set, Samira, and even the Thresh a little bit, they're gonna have so much sustain during these fights that it's just gonna be very tough for the Dandelion Knights to trade back. They're gonna have to pick these fights, and they need to pick these fights when they can get 1 or 2 members isolated. The red inhibitor in the top lane now back up.
They're collapsing onto the Set. I don't know if Set... Oh, Set manages to get over the wall with just the Camille, so he might be safe. He might be able to fend off the Camille long enough for his team to step in. Amumu is also over the wall. Camille jumps back over in order to get out of there. Amumu is in trouble, taken out by the 3 members of the Squirtle squad, as Hulve and Mycroft are jumping onto the Galio. Now there's 4 members on the Galio. Galio's stopwatches. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough as he's also taken out. They're hunting around for the other members.
Is somewhat of what I was trying to say, you know. They obviously saw the Set on his own in their jungle and wanted to collapse on him. It's just unfortunate that without vision and map control elsewhere, it seemed as if they were unaware that the rest of his team was close enough and the Set was able to kite them right into it. They should have been, the moment he was over that Baron pit, they should have pulled back, as now everyone
just
on Squirtle
poor
squad
Lulu
in the
defending.
purple, they're wearing that Baron buff.
The Set, while the Baron was being taken, was pushing in that top lane. And Lulu just kind of had to stand there and poke her with her staff. Trying to make the Set back away from the inhibitor, which to no avail. Thresh catches out the Lulu with a hook again, and Lulu goes down. Mycroft is definitely scary on this Thresh.
Oh, absolutely. Every game I've seen him, he's shown to constantly know exactly when and where to land those hooks.
Set diving under both tower turrets in order to jump on the team, and this might be another ace for the Squirtle squad, as they take out all 5 members, the Nexus turrets, and the Nexus in one fell swoop. It was a great game from the side of the Squirtle squad.
Yeah, the Squirtle squad really just knew what they had to do. They knew that in the mid lane and in the top lane, they just had to, you know, in the top lane, the Set on Karen on Set had to just, you know, concede the first 4 levels to the Camille. She's got a little bit of a stronger early start, but after that, thanks to the help of the Fiddlesticks and thanks to the Silas roaming elsewhere, the Set and the Silas were able to just start steamrolling and snowballing, and throughout those fights, were putting in so much work for their team.
Exactly.
And for that game, it's for that reason exactly that I think, you know, it falls down to just between Karen Franz and Foozle Bamboozle. Who do you think deserves the MVP for that game?
I think, honestly, I think the Set for being such a tanky frontline for that team. Like, the amount of times that he just dove into the middle of the team and managed to, like, get everyone in kind of this puddle where they could just be taken out by the Squirtle squad, that alone, and being able to get out at the end, was, I think that calls for MVP.
I will agree with you there. Now, hopefully, we can see something just as amazing as this game was in Game 2. But we're going to have to take a quick break. So everyone, please stick around. Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 of the Squirtle Squad versus the Dandelion Knights. For a quick recap, in Game 1, we see the Squirtle Squad decisively take it against the Dandelion Knights. The Set and the Silas on the side of the Squirtle Squad really carrying their team to victory there. And let's see what the Dandelion Knights could do about Game 2, see if they can bring it back and get revenge. So we're going to jump right into the draft for this. Now, right off the bat, this is a bit of an interesting draft. We see the Dandelion Knights first pick a Jinx, followed by Squirtle Squad with their classic patented first pick Thresh for Mycroft Holmes. Dandelion Knights respond with a Veigar Nidalee pick, and the Squirtle Squad counter back with the Samira Lee Sin. Malphite Yasuo for the Dandelion Knights, and Renekton and Annie for the Squirtle Squad. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what are the Dandelion Knights doing? I don't see anyone there that I would classically label as a support. Well, I don't see one either. But what I do see is some pretty good team synergy. The Malphite and the Yasuo combination of their ultimates, if they can get that and land it right, is going to be just perfect. Not to mention this Veigar pick, the late game scaling potential for this Veigar, the amount of damage he can output in the late game has been proven time and time again to carry and win games.
Not to mention the zoning during the laning phase is really difficult to get around for the Veigar.
Absolutely. His ability to really zone out his opponents can not only help set up teammate ganks, but just make it hard for, even if it's just in the mid lane, his opponent just get anywhere. On the side of the Squirtle Squads, I really do like, once again, this Thresh Samira. That laning capability from those two is very strong. Samira is new, but with her kit and with Thresh kits, I think it can do a lot of work. There's only one real way to tell how it's going to turn out, though, and that's to watch the game. So let's jump right into it. Hatagi! As Game 1 starts up again, last time we saw the Squirtle Squad starting off with a cheeky invade, taking a 5-man top to try to jump their top lane opponent, but it looks like this game, they're not going to go anything of that. Both sides decide the standard 5-man spread is good enough for them. They're going to stop and watch for any invades from their opponents, which of course, we're not really going to see. Both sides have decided to play it safe. And in the bot lane, it does look like, for the side of the Dandelion Knights, it's going to be this Veigar Jinx.
Now,
Jinx.
I have never seen this combo of a lane before. What happens when you put a Veigar and a Jinx in the same lane, other than just incredibly oppressive lane for against the Samira and Thresh? But which one is the support?
Well, from what I know and I've been taught, it's the AD carry who's given heal. Now, we do see Jinx with the heal, but I've seen and been told of unorthodox things before. So for all I know, it could be that this Veigar is the AD carry and has decided to take Ignite for some extra killing power. Now what I do expect to see is a very potent bot lane. I feel like the Dandelion Knights are gonna go for kills. You know, with the zoning power from the Veigar and Jinx being able to output some damage, I really expect them to see them going for kills.
And it does seem like the Veigar is the support, not the support, the ADC, seeing as he's the one who's farming. So it is indeed a Jinx support.
Yeah, it seems while the Vygar's been focused on farming, the Jinx is just taking shot after shot against this Thresh and this Samira. Which is an interesting combination between the two, you know. It will, of course, mean that they're going to have a lot more poke, and we might see the Thresh and the Samira constantly chinked away down to lower health.
Now, I don't want to say that Seal is, original, like, okay, so, let me rephrase this. Seal is known for not really having a standout meta. However, in the past couple of weeks, I have noticed that bot lanes, in particular, have been rather unorthodox. So, for all we know, Seal is developing the meta of just playing really weird bot lanes and somehow getting away with it, as the Karen is in trouble once again on this Renekton. He does go down, the first blood goes over onto the Nidalee. Annie also taking some pretty heavy damage from Eclipse. Other than that, the trades seem pretty even.
Yeah, this Nidalee, now that she's got both her buffs, getting that first kill from that gank, Nidalee's power is especially going to be a lot more seen here in the early game. So she's really got to make her presence known and make use of it while she can.
Astariel is taken out, and the Vygar is going to take some heavy poke damage from Ace. But the Cameron coming down with the teleport, they might be able to turn this back around with the Vygar putting out insane amounts of damage already, and it's not even the first 5... It hasn't even hit, like, the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, thanks to that Malphite, the Q ability not only doing some damage, it also slows down the opponents and gives Malphite... It gives Malphite a little bit more speed, which can help chase things down.
Ace is determined to get this kill onto the Vygar, and Ace gets the kill. Eclipse is super low, so he will have to watch out as Hull forces the flash out of him and tower dives. Gets away safely, but with significantly low health.
Yeah, now this is pretty much what I've expected from seeing a Jinx and a Vygar bot lane. I expect that this Samira and this Thresh are really going to be showing their power. You know, this Jinx and Vygar, although they have a lot of killing power and potential, I expect that the real traditional support pick of Thresh here is just going to do a little bit more for the Squirtle squad, as opposed to this unorthodox play by the Dandelion Knights. Now we do see, item-wise, we're still low gold, so no one's really made any big moves except for this Malphite, who's picked up 3 cloth armors. Stacking armor like a true Malphite player. Cameron Beats is looking down to put down the beats.
And he's gonna need that against the Renekton, who does an insane amount of AD early in the game, in order to keep this lane even.
Yeah, the mid lane so far seems to be fairly back and forth. Both players got a kill, and both players have taken a death. Although this Annie has completed her Hextech Revolver. The Yasuo has got to be a little bit wary of that, but he, as is the typical Yasuo style, is most likely going to be able to do a lot more than we expect. And dash in there for some kills. The first dragon, of course, for this game is going to be a Cloud Dragon. Neither team seems to really be in a position where they can commit to this initial dragon take. The bot lane is fairly even right now in terms of the minion wave.
The junglers don't seem too concerned about it either. Both Ace and Mycroft jumping onto the Jinx, and the Jinx is taken down again. That is 2 deaths onto her, as well as 4 kills onto the Samira. So Samira's getting snowballed early game. which doesn't bode well for the side of the Dandelion Knights, but we both know how this bot lane on their side scapes. So the Squirtle squad has to get super far ahead in order to turn this game onto their side. And let's see if they can continue that snowballing for the rest of the game.
Yeah, they've taken the first Drake. This Cloud Drake is pretty strong. And very good use of that wing wall. This Yasuo wing wall is just a direct counter to almost anything thrown at it. And it's just... that would have been an amazing hook, once again, for the Mycroft Holmes, if that wing wall wasn't there.
The Renekton did seem to be in a little bit of trouble. He might be in even more trouble now, as Nidalee does jump onto the alligator, and apparently Cat beats alligator. As
yeah, I would
Renekton
have
goes down.
expected the alligator to win that fight, but I'm not surprised to see the Nidalee coming out ahead there.
So looking at the state of the game right now, as things continue to kind of progress a little bit slower than last game. We have 6 kills to 4 on the side of the Squirtle squad, as well as a slight gold lead. So they just need to keep snowballing, and so far they're doing just that.
Yeah, but notably, this gold lead isn't too big of a challenge for the Dandelion Knights to come back from. You know, it's still really early on where no one has completed their items yet. So it's still plenty of chances for the Dandelion Knights to make a play and suddenly be the one on top. 1,000
Exactly.
gold isn't a lot to overcome.
No, and if the spot lane gets the shutdown on the Samira, they'll have a pretty significant way back into closing that gold gap.
Yeah. Notably, however, the Thresh and the Samira are both at level 6, while only the Vigar has hit level 6. That's a pretty... that in its own is a power advantage. The Squirtle squad will have 2 ultimates to make use of, while Dandelion Knights will only have 1.
They're still able to poke out this bot lane.
Yeah, it really... although, they're in a rough position. As you see, what this Thresh is doing is he's lane bullying them hard. He's saying, if you want to come and farm, you have to get through me. If you want your XP, you have to come through me.
Exactly.
And if, of course, they step up, then we see Thresh throwing out the Flay and throwing out the hook, and possibly even putting the cage up and allowing Samira to get
Yasuo's in trouble. He does get taken out by the Annie. Holv was in the bush, though, and Nodagro is in trouble. Holv does take out the Nodagro, but is probably going to lose his life in return. Unless, oh, that Thresh save. Mycroft on this Thresh. This is why you don't give Mycroft his Thresh. And he's gotten it both games.
I've had the honor of casting 3 games for the Squirtle squads, and every game I've seen Mycroft Holmes playing this Thresh makes me wish that players respected it a lot more than they seem to do.
Yeah.
We do see now, the Samira's completed her first item. We see her getting, of course, that Essence Reaver, the standard first pick item so far that players are going with for Samira. She's also picked up her boots, which, I mean, already she's had a lot of killing potential. And now hitting this first item spike while the Vigar hasn't. That's just going to make the bot lane a little bit harder for the Dandelion Knights. While the Thresh has picked up boots and mobility. He's gone first item boots and mobility, which means we're going to see a lot of roaming from him. Typically, Thresh players
jumped on. He's probably in trouble. Although the Thresh does get him out of there, and now it's a 3v2 in terms of the Squirtle squad. Fuzel and Ace jumping onto the Yasuo. Yasuo is stunned. Yasuo is probably going to die here. He dead. Oh. There we go. Now he gets taken out, and the kill went onto the Thresh. And now Ystariel, Nodagro, and Mystic are jumping onto Ace. Ace does take out the Nidalee, though. And still gets away with his life.
Yeah. Now, this is just a really good position the Squirtle squads have found themselves in. They've taken down 2 of the enemy players as that second dragon spawned, but they're not in a position where they can go right into a take, of course. You know, the Samira and the Thresh were both on low health after this fight, so the Samira just has to back and reset. But they are pushing. They have lane priority in the bottom lane.
Lee Sin jumping onto Ystariel is locked up under the tower, but will take that kill. He's probably going to die to the tower. Oh, that was close. That was an insane...
Lantern plays.
The Lantern play and the shield from Lee Sin help get Lee Sin out of there safe. So in total,
my
that was
recommendation
just
to teams finding themselves squaring off against the Squirtle squad, maybe consider banning Thresh.
just a little bit of a hit. The entire team is playing really well, but definitely that Thresh is just... Whoa, that's a scary champion.
Well, it's like I've been told and I've seen myself. Thresh has a very universal kit.
Mm-hmm.
As a support, he's got a hook, which already makes him in the good classification of supports. He's got Flay, which its passive increases the amount of damage he can do. It also slows the enemies and pulls them in, so it's almost like a mini hook.
Nidalee does go down, but manages to secure the Scuttle and the Dragon. She did sneak the Mountain Dragon away from the Squirtle squad, as well as the Annie going down to the Yasuo as a solo kill. So the Dandelion Knights are still fighting back.
Yeah, I mean, it's only the 15-minute mark, and they're only down 4k gold. You know, it's definitely not too late for them, as their Yasuo has completed his Phantom Dancer and his Berserker Greaves. If this Yasuo can get a little bit of a lead against the Annie and start snowballing, then he's gonna be able to, like, take a lot of these 1v1s. Like, right now, against this Lee Sin, he's put a lot of damage on this Lee Sin. He's dashing through these mini waves. He's going for this kill, and he's gonna get the shutdown gold. That's 400 gold that this Yasuo really needs.
Nidalee in trouble once again. The Malphite is there to protect her, though.
Yeah, and notably, this Malphite, he's stacking armor. He's picked up this Bramble Vest, and he's got a Chain Vest. So that's going to make things a little bit harder for the side of the Squirtle squad. You know, this Renekton going in against the Malphite, not only is stacking armor just what this Malphite wants to do, but picking up this Bramble Vest is going to make things a little bit harder for the Renekton. He's got to be wary and pay attention to that. As does really everyone else on the Squirtle squad. We've seen so many games where someone with a Bramble Vest just ends up getting an insane amount of kills because he's just standing there, staying alive, and everyone's auto-attacking him.
Renekton is in trouble, jumped on by the Nidalee, who is hiding in the bush. Somehow manages to get past the tower, but does get taken out by the Nidalee, who decides to chase after him. Annie is coming up, though. They gotta watch out. Annie has Tibbers.
Yeah, although I really think that Tibbers, while it scared them off, I think it was a bit too early. You know, Tibbers, he's only gonna last for so long, and really all it did, it does save the top tower though, which is an important point. We do see now that the Renekton has finished so far. A Blade of the Ruined King. And
Malphite jumped on by 3 members. Eclipse is getting chunked out. Malphite is still fairly healthy, and the 3 members of the Dandelion Knights are now coming up. the Malphite and the Samira were both taken out, and that's a whole bunch of shutdown gold onto the side of the Dandelion Knights. That was, I think it was
Yeah,
a 500 gold bounty on the Samira that the Dandelion Knights just got. So that is going to close the gold gap, and it's going to give them some pretty good lead into some new items for more damage.
absolutely. This is potentially what the Dandelion Knights need to get back onto the lead. As we see Nidalee up here.
Nidalee is
getting
jumped on by
chased
2
after.
people. Nidalee gets taken out, the kill goes onto the Renekton. And that is surprisingly his first kill of the game.
Yeah,
All of the kills
Renekton.
up in the bot lane have gone up onto the Nidalee. Or, sorry, the Lee Sin.
Yeah, I mean, but this Renekton is a head-on minion kills. You know, his CS is really good compared to this Malphite right now. And getting that shutdown gold is just going to further give him a little bit ahead. As in the mid lane, they're stacking up. They want to try to take this mid lane tower.
They do take the tower, so now they have a whole bunch of mid pressure, and they can run over to this Drake, which is spawning in 3 seconds.
Yeah, and this is going to be a little bit tough with the Squirtle squad. Initially, unless Karen teleports down beforehand, it's looking like it's going to... starting things off.
Ran into face first into a bush full of danger, and is taken out immediately. Ace also goes down. There's now a 3v2 on the Eclipse is jumped on by Hulve, and this is the Yasuo does go down to the Lee Sin, and both Hulve and Karen are running away.
Bloodbath. Back and forth. Now, what I was trying to say was it was going to be a lot tougher for the Squirtle squad to start that fight, as Karen was all the way up in the top lane. They were going to have to hold on until Karen could teleport down, which she did. But by the time that she did, a lot of the damage had already been done.
The Nidalee takes out the Lee Sin once again, and there is no chance for a Dragon Steel this time. That is a lot of damage on the Nidalee.
We're looking at another Ocean Soul for this game, as the first of which falls to the Dandelion Knights.
Now, if the Dandelion Knights gets the Ocean Soul, Malphite is already really tanky. It's going to be really difficult to get past the Malphite in order to get into the backline of the team. And so the Squirtle squad really doesn't want the Dandelion Knights to get this soul. It's a reverse situation from what happened last game.
Yeah, this Ocean Soul, the Malphite, the amount of armor that he's going to be and that he currently is stacking means that he's going to be reducing so much damage dealt to him. As there's the Renekton, there's the Samira, and there's the Lee Sin. He's
looking to get this bot lane tower, it seems, because the Malphite teleported down.
Oh yeah. Making plays like this is what you want to be doing when you're ahead in the top lane. Except, I mean, the Malphite isn't really ahead, but he's now brought it back to an even point. He's taken down the Renekton's tower. So now he's free to head down to this bot lane to try to apply pressure and help them in taking this bot tower.
And that Jinx support is doing some heavy damage. A really great pairing with the Veigar. Nidalee is jumped on. Hulve is here to secure the kill. And the trading down in bot lane continues. They are desperate to get this tower so that they have all of the prio for the soul point. Malphite does get hooked by the Thresh. Thresh once again showing his prowess on this champion.
Yeah, the Malphite going down, unfortunately, but now Eclipse has come in to try to clean it up.
It is an absolute bloodbath here. Mystic goes down.
Back and forth, constant trades But unfortunately, the Dandelion Knights are really going to lose it in that one. 4 of their members go down. And now the bot lane priority is fully in the favor of the Squirtle squad.
They were so close to securing that tower, but Squirtle Squad did some really good plays there and were able to turn the fight around, not only to defend their tower, but also to push up on this inner tower for the Dandelion Knights.
Yeah, now looking across the board item-wise, it's very important to see that this Yasuo has now completed his second item. He's now gonna have a 2 power smite, as the Annie's only completed her first item.
That fight does so much damage.
The Yasuo having his Infinity Edge and his Phantom Dancer means that he is going to be a bit of a threat. If he can dash to the backline, he's going to be a menace for the Squirtle squad to deal with. And yeah, absolutely. This Veigar, like I was saying in the draft, he's already up to 131 ability power off of his passive. The amount of damage and burst he's able to do is just so much, and it's not even the late game.
The Scuttle Crab is secured for the Dandelion Knights, so they're starting to set up for Vision on the Baron, which is just going to secure their lead, or secure their pushing power even further.
Yeah, it will give them pushing power, but I really think, item-wise, there's a brief moment where we need to discuss things, as the Veigar is behind on items compared to the Samira, and the Thresh is a little bit ahead against the Jinx, but the Jinx has got a few strange items. Now, I'm going to be honest with the viewers, I'm not fully familiar with every item, but picking up a Youmuu's Ghost Blade, her Boots of Lucidity, she's got a Chalice of Harmony, and now she's completed a Forbidden Item. You know, she's really going heavy into the mana regen. As the Drake does fall pretty decisively to the Squirtle squad. They don't give the Dandelion Knights a chance to even fight for that one.
I think what's scary is, despite the gold lead on the Squirtle squad and the kill lead, there are a few players on the Dandelion Knights who are ahead in farm, but they are evenly matched right now. Like, a team fight could swing either way at this point.
Yeah, it all really comes down to being able to correctly call the target and communicate that to your team. So if this Yasuo is just allowed to go off in a team fight, and the Squirtle squad don't see him and stop him, for example, then he's putting out a lot of damage. Like, the combination of him and that Malphite really showed Karen to be careful.
Yeah.
In the
although the Squirtle squad did get a kill traded onto the Samira in the bot jungle.
Yeah, the Malphite, I think, is, for the Dandelion Knights, a lot of their weight is onto this Malphite to be able to frontline for them, and onto this Jinx and Veigar combination in the bot lane to put out insane amounts of damage. As it looks like a team fight is about to go down in this top jungle.
They want prio for this Baron. They want to be able to just go straight up to the Baron after the team fight. And the Malphite does get taken out, so that frontline tank damage is just gone. Halv is very close to death, but does manage to hook, or I don't even know what it's called. Lantern, that's what it's called. Does manage to lantern back to safety. does get taken out in the end, though. And there is one Thresh remaining on the side of the Squirtle squad.
What an amazing turnaround there for the Dandelion Knights. They lost their front line and they lost the Vigar, and yet the Yasuo, the Jinx, and the Nidalee were able to just turn it around for them. Really, like the amount of commitment that they had to do, that the Squirtle squad had to do to take down that Malphite and to take down that Vigar, they brought themselves down so low.
Baron getting absolutely shredded by just 3 members of the Dandelion Knights.
This
That
is exactly what they need to turn around and get this win. They've gotten this Baron buff now, and they can really take this moment to apply pressure and put the Squirtle squad on the back foot so that in 2 minutes when the dragon's up, Dandelion Knights can go and get to Soul Point and set themselves up to be in a better position.
They are setting up for the next Ocean Drake. The next Drake will get either of them Soul Point. So, this one also has to be contested. So we're going to be seeing another team fight within the next minute or so.
I do think the Dandelion Knights are wasting a bit of this Baron buff hanging around the river so early when they could be pushing waves out and getting lane priority. Although getting that kill onto the Lee Sin is going to make things a little bit tougher for the Squirtle squad. He's going to be respawning with only 20 seconds to get to the dragon.
Which he can make it over there if he books it, but he also has to deal with the fact that his entire team is just getting shoved into their base right now.
Yeah, and now we see, once again, this Vigar ability to zone just cut off the Squirtle squad from being able to step forward and defend that turret.
The rest of the Dandelion Knights
turn it down. The Lee Sin's back up. Both teams are going to make their way over towards this dragon now. The Squirtle squad are going to clear out the mid lane and then work their way down, while the Dandelion Knights are already over there at the mid lane.
Yeah, the Squirtle squad is at Drake first, but they're going to have to chunk down this dragon really fast, or else risk having the Drake either stolen or end up in a team fight. As the rest of the Dandelion Knights jumps in, Halv and Ace are immediately taken out, as well as Mycroft, and there's 2 members left. There's 1 member left. Renekton, run! You gotta get out of there! The Renekton is also taken down, and that's an ace for the side of the Dandelion Knights and the Dragon Soul Point. So that is a huge win for the Dandelion Knights, and they're going to run straight up into mid and try to get that inhib now with the rest of the the Squirtle squad being down.
Now here's the real story of that fight. Having pushed in and taken that tower, instead of just falling back to the dragon and setting up to take the dragon and take the team fight, members of the Dandelion Knights recalled to go and get items.
So they had even more damage going into that next team fight.
Yeah, and now, with the team still down, the Dandelion Knights have just claimed the victory and taken the core.
That was...
What an amazing turnaround. I am shocked that the game just ended there. I'm really in disbelief that all the build-up was that team fight there at the Dragon Pit, and the Dandelion Knights came out with enough champions to just walk right up the mid lane.
Yeah, that last team fight was pretty decisive. They took out the entirety of the Squirtle squad within a 10-second period from when the team fight started to when it ended. So that just shows you how dangerous that team comp was.
Well, not even just the team comp. They played that so smart. Key players backing to finish items. The Yasuo, the Jinx, both backed and managed to finish items, giving them power spike for that team fight and allowing them to come in at just the right moment. As the Squirtle squad had fully committed to taking that Drake, the Dandelion Knights were able to come over the wall and around the river and just catch them fully in a pincer attack. And with that victory, we're going to have to award somebody on the Dandelion Knights the MVP. Now, in my mind, just looking at the plays and looking at how things went down, I want to award that to Eclipse personally, but I'm interested in seeing your opinion, Sonny.
I do not have enough game knowledge. I'm going to go with what you say.
For me, the Yasuo, I mean, his stats say it all. 12, 5, and 5. No one else on his team got close. Although I would like to give a shout out to the Malphite player, Cameron Beats, putting it in with 18 assists. In those team fights was the bulwark, standing there as a front line. Definitely made things a lot easier for their team to then turn and do the damage that they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, both those games were amazing games. Congratulations to both the Squirtle Squad and the Dandelion Knights for their victories. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and tuning in for the games and coming here to watch our cast and continue to support the casual esports amateur league.
And with
I've
that, we are going to say goodnight. I have been. I've had a good time with my first couple times casting. So I am Sunny Day signing off.
and I'm Willis, King of Games. Have a wonderful night, everyone.